It's time for RiffTrax.
How we vote, hungover in a middle school gym.
They couldn't get their first choice, the singing Bill from Schoolhouse Rock.
Bernard, I just tell people I'm an accountant Willits.
In the United States, our citizens have the right to vote for those who represent us in our government.
And for which bear is fattest.
Recently, the age at which a person can vote was lowered to 18 years.
Jerry Seinfeld immediately loses interest.
This means that you should become acquainted not only with the candidates and issues, but also with the voting process itself.
Cast your vote by abacus.
How does a person qualify to vote? How is an election carried out? And who are the people working behind the scenes to safeguard the rights of voters and candidates?
Seriously, does anyone know?
Before a person is eligible to vote, he must first go to the election officials and provide information about himself.
Narrator.
What? Women too? Since when?
This is called registering.
I brought a urine sample.
No,
I got a six-pack of them.
Urine.
To register, he gives his full name, his address, the date of his birth, and, if he wishes, the political party to which he wants to belong.
Lunar party, please.
To be eligible to vote, a person must be a United States citizen and a resident of the state.
Then beat the old lady in arm wrestling.
He affirms that the information he has given is correct.
Repeat after me. Certified freak.
Certified free.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Now he is registered and can vote in the next election. But first, at the office of the election board, much work must be done.
By Far Side characters.
Workers at the election board check the address of each newly registered voter.
Working by hand, they'll be done by the Clinton administration.
They find the voting district or precinct in which he lives. Each state is divided into many voting districts or precincts.
Well, these aren't gerrymandered at all. Someone get on that.
Precincts are kept small so that people can vote near their homes.
Vote in your neighbor's garage while they sleep.
Another worker at the election board prints a list of names for each precinct.
Using a machine that predates Gutenberg.
Resist the temptation to stick your wiener in the addressograph.
This list shows the name of everyone in the precinct who has registered and is eligible to vote.
Oh, half of them are named Hugh Jazz? What?
Well, better get to suppressing.
On election day, these lists will be used in the voting or polling places in each precinct.
Wait, this is Jack Torrance's manuscript.
Ballots are the sheets of paper upon which people vote.
Paper? What does paper have to do with voting?
On election day, voters will put a mark next to the names of the candidates for whom they wish to vote.
Richard Fildew. Now that's a name that sells itself.
Ballots are printed at public expense so that every candidate in the election can be certain of having his name on the ballot.
Even if it's Wheatcroft.
Before the election, some states send each registered voter information about the election so they can study the candidates and issues.
Oh, good. Americans love studying.
A card is often included, giving the location of the polling place in each voter's precinct.
Right where the American flag is. Got it.
At this election board, the
Perkins?
material is automatically put into envelopes.
Later, these devices will do the important work of sending the penny saver to every human alive.
Guys, this white noise is lulling me to sleep. I'm trying with it.
Kevin, wake up! We're creating content!
With Golden Corral's new slogan. Where am I? Welcome back. Thank you.
People who are absent from home during the election can request that ballots be sent to them so they too can vote. These are called absentee ballots.
And we're sure they'll never be controversial in any way.
Just before the election board ships everything that is needed in voting to the polling places.
They also ship these easels to Bob Ross.
The booths in which people will vote are loaded onto trucks.
Maybe we don't need to see every step?
The boxes in which the marked ballots will be placed are also sent to each polling place.
Ballot boxes for 8th grade treasurer look more official.
A truck pulls away. Voting!
On Election Day, a flag flies in front of each polling place.
Also, any given McDonald's.
The polling place is often the home of someone who lives in the precinct.
It is?
We were kidding about the garage.
The voter gives his name and address to the precinct workers, then signs his name.
In pencil. Secure!
His signature is compared to the one he made when registering.
Sure it is.
This identifies the voter and helps to prevent someone else from voting in his name.
They're almost making voting seem too exciting and sexy.
No, I'm fanning myself.
Another worker locates the voter's name on the precinct list and checks it off. This prevents anyone from voting more than once.
Unless they have an eraser.
The voter then takes his ballot into the voting booth.
Next to the household's cat box.
Here, he marks the ballot in secret.
He doesn't know we can see.
Shh, I want to see if he votes for Phildew.
Since no one can see him or know how he votes, he can vote as he chooses. He cannot be forced into voting a certain way.
Wow, he got like all of these wrong. He really blew it.
After the ballot is marked, it is folded and placed in a locked ballot box.
And then left by the curb on garbage day.
Instead of ballots, many places use voting machines.
Have you seen that lady vote? She's just a voting machine.
Voting on a machine is also secret. This woman pushes a lever by the name of each person for whom she wants to vote.
She does it with cold, dead eyes.
Her votes are automatically recorded in the machine and the marks removed when she turns a lever to open the curtain.
Pay no attention to that woman behind the curtain.
At the end of the day, an election official unlocks the voting machine. He turns a crank to reveal the number of votes each candidate has received.
When he sees that Jesse Ventura has the most votes, he burns the results and no one blames him.
Stop looking over my shoulder, Terry.
It's my job, Kenneth.
In the polling places that use ballots, the ballot box is unlocked at the end of the day.
The workers strip naked and roll around in a pile of ballots. It's a weird tradition.
These workers are volunteers from the precinct who are specially trained for the work they do.
They all hold master's degrees in unfolding.
In many polling places, the ballots are counted by the precinct workers.
McKesson,
One worker reads the votes from the ballots.
Erickson.
Other workers record the votes.
And yet another worker from MTV prepares to rock the vote.
Johnston,
Usually, two workers record the totals at the same time.
Duran,
This helps prevent mistakes.
Helps. You know, it gets the vote count in the general
The
ballpark.
head
Not
precinct
the best
worker
you can hope
also
for.
checks what the others are doing.
Crowley,
On her first day, she beat up a poll worker just to assert her dominance.
Nutzman,
Anyone else?
Simpson,
Any citizen has the right to watch the votes being counted.
Offer not valid in the U.S. or its territories.
After the polls close, some polling places send their marked ballots back to the election board to be counted. Here, machines count each mark on the ballot quickly and accurately.
Unlike those slow, inaccurate, greasy-fingered poll workers.
Oh, that's the shredder. Oh, well.
Shame.
This machine counts hundreds of ballots a minute.
Trust the Coleman ballot counter. Also vote Coleman for senator.
As votes are counted, totals are automatically typed.
As soon as the automatic typing machine finishes its screenplay,
So the vote totals are way smaller than the 6-foot receipt I get when buying a tin of Altoids.
Then the totals are projected so that candidates, reporters, and anyone else who is interested can see how the election is coming out.
Simpson, eh?
Every citizen 18 years or older should register to vote.
my grandson is also 18. Maybe you know him?
He should study the candidates and issues carefully and vote at each election.
Except for county registrar. Let's keep that person in office for decades.
Election board workers
Count.
and precinct
Count, you
workers
miserable underlings.
safeguard
Count
the
like the
rights
wind.
of both voters and candidates. They are constantly alert to keep our elections free and fair.
If we learn to care for others, to respect others, we'll learn how to care for, to respect our country.
It's time for RiffTrax.
Copyright by RiffTrax, all rights reserved.